smiled. "Oh, I'm not too worried about that." "If it were my dog, I'd worry." "Do you have a dog?" she asked. "No, but if I had one, I would take better care of him than you do." The girl's smile vanished. "I take real good care of my dog. He's my best friend. We will always be together." "You won't be together if he gets hit by a car." The girl laughed. Evan frowned. "It isn't funny, and it's against the law to let your dog run around off a leash." "A leash wouldn't hold Charger. Trust me." As if he heard his name, Charger came running from down the street, his tail wagging. Evan smiled at the dog, who now stood before the girl, a ball in his mouth. The dog looked at Evan and cocked his head questioningly. "Yes, Charger," the girl said in a soft voice. "He can see you. He can see both of us." Evan frowned at the odd comment, but the girl just looked his way and giggled before snatching the ball from the dog's mouth and throwing it away from her. Walt had just turned down the street to Chief McDonald's house, Danielle in the passenger seat, when a golden Labrador retriever dashed in front of the Packard. He slammed on the brakes and, without thought, threw his right arm toward Danielle to keep her from moving forward. "Did you hit it?" Danielle asked, pushing Walt's hand away while leaning forward to peer out the windshield. "No. But where did he go?" "People shouldn't let their dogs run loose like that," Danielle said. A few minutes later, after parking the car, Walt opened the passenger door for Danielle. As he did, he noticed Evan standing by his mailbox, watching them, a blank expression on the young boy's face. Walt glanced back to the street, checking again to make sure he hadn't hit the dog. When he saw nothing, Danielle got out of the car and walked with Walt toward Evan. "Hi, Evan," Danielle greeted him. "Do you know whose dog that was?" Evan nodded, his eyes darting back to the street. "What's wrong?" Walt asked. "I didn't hit him, did I?" Walt glanced back to the street, now concerned he might have hit the poor dog, and after Evan witnessed it, the dog had run off, afraid and injured. "No," Evan said, his expression still blank. "Do you know whose dog it is?" Danielle repeated. Evan nodded. "She said it was her dog." "And who is she?" Walt asked. Evan looked up at Walt and said in awe, "I just saw a ghost dog. I've never seen one of those before." "A ghost dog?" the chief asked Danielle. He sat with Walt and Danielle in his living room. Danielle glanced to the hallway where Evan had disappeared with his older brother Eddie not long after entering the house. "And a ghost girl," she added in a whisper. "He didn't realize she was a ghost when he first saw her," Walt explained. "It upset him she was playing ball in the street, afraid the dog was going to get hit." "And she and the dog just disappeared?" the chief asked. Danielle nodded. "That's what Evan told us." The chief let out a sigh and leaned back on the sofa. "He seemed perfectly fine when he walked in here with you two." Danielle glanced back to the hallway and then to the chief. "I have to give your son credit. He seems to take his gift, and what he encounters because of it, in stride. I think it relieved him not to have to worry about the dog." "Because it's already dead?" Walt asked with a chuckle. "Pretty much." Danielle shrugged. "It has me concerned. If there is a little girl ghost, then I have to assume a child has died," the chief said, his tone serious. "From how Evan described her, I suspect this child died years ago. Still sad, but not quite the same thing," Danielle said. "How did he describe her?" the chief asked. "She was wearing a checkered dress with a full skirt, white Peter Pan collar," Danielle began. "I don't think Evan knows what a Peter Pan collar is," the chief interrupted. Danielle smiled. He didn't say it was a Peter Pan collar, but from how he described her clothes, that's what it sounds like she was wearing. And she had on white socks and shoes.